occasion of the African Nations Championship organized in Cameroon from January 16 to February 7, 2021, the African Union of Broadcasting, AUB, presents the Spotlight. The Spotlight, the very best of Channel 2020.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to today's edition of the Spotlight. As you might have noticed, the African Nations Championship is being played in 2021, but the name is CHAN 2020. Well, this is because the tournament was previously planned for 2020, but due to the novel coronavirus outbreak which swept across the world, putting many on lockdowns, the tournament was later on moved to take place in 2021. So on today's edition of the Spotlight, we dig into some COVID-19 testing centers at the African Nations Championship in Cameroon to find out how the centers have been coping, and we'll bring you many other interesting stories. So go nowhere, I'll be right back. Thank you very much for joining me for this edition of the Spotlight. As you can see, right behind me is a monument called Soja Tombe. In English means the fallen soldiers. This monument was erected in honor of soldiers who gave up their lives in battlefield in honor of the nation fighting for their country. They lost their lives in the battlefield, and this monument was erected in their honor. Now let's move on to Yaoundé, where we find this training center that is raising football stars. You know, to become an international football star and be introduced to professional football starts from home trainings. So there is this training center in Yaoundé called Semence Olympique that is dedicated to raising football stars from the very young as 4 years old to the oldest that you can imagine who want to engage in the sports of football. Let's join Isaac Jenafochi, who makes us discover this training center in Yaoundé.
The road to professional football is that training, learning, adaptation, and training again. This is the goal of the Semence Olympique Football Training Center. It seeks to consolidate local energy in football for further professional expression.
J'aimerais bien mourir de ma passion d'encadrement de la jeunesse.
I would love to die for my passion to train the youth. This is so because I am first of all a teacher. I am a certified trainer. I have completed my teacher's training courses. I have been a teacher for a long while, so I am pleased with the training of kids.
Je me plais dans l'encadrement des enfants.
Beyond this professional passion, I have an urge for victory, and this is visible in football.
One of the football clubs managed by Semence Olympique is Lyon Blessé. They focus on training local talents and preparing them for integration into international professional football clubs.
Vous avez affaire à une équipe professionnelle, Lyon Blessé.
We are working with a professional team, which I was training a while ago. Our first objective is to move to Elite 1, given that we are at Elite 2 now. After that, we have hopes to feature in European teams and play like every international professional.
Mais l'objectif premier est de ravitailler le football camerounais.
Every day, these professional football aspirants lace up and brace 2 hours of intensive training on football tactics like how to attack, defend, and how to manage the pitch. Most of the players say they enjoy the process and their hopes for professional football are alive.
I'm training here just because for the ambition of the club. You know, President have many projects ahead, so he called me. He called for me so that I can do one or two things. You know, because I want to be a professional. The dream of everybody that plays football, you know, and I know that I'll be selected because that's the only thing that I'm asking God every day.
For me, football is a passion because I think that to play football is like to make a job. I'm playing football to be tomorrow. I want to put my family on the good space. So it's why that I'm playing football.
According to the president of Semence Olympique, the training center has produced several Cameroonian football legends who today give him joy.
Some of the people in the national team passed through our training center. no one can say we have not produced results. We produced Mvondo, we produced Esingi, we produced Jean Binda, we produced Alege, we produced many others. I am also thinking of Omer Job. We cannot forget Esombe, who was one of our key ambassadors. It gives me great joy. We are not involved in influence peddling.
Mais nous ne sommes pas dans le marchandage.
This dream to raise football stars was born 20 years ago. It is a legacy that will live long as football aspirants are trained from as early as 4 years.
Now let me take you to the Amadou Ahidjo Omnisports Stadium in Yaoundé, where the last encounter between the Lions of Cameroon and Burkina Faso took place, where this very exciting and hilarious moment happened. Go watch this no comment section.
Pourquoi tu es allé au stade? Pourquoi tu es allé au stade? Pourquoi tu es allé au stade? Oui.
C'est mon pays.
Ah bon?
Oui,
c'est bon. Et comment tu as fait? Tu as sauté par où pour arriver au stade?
Je suis sauté là-bas.
Oui.
Pour entrer au stade.
Et tu es content des Lions?
Je suis content de...
Je veux que tu te lèves, tu harangues la foule. Lève-toi, tu harangues la foule.
Like you heard in the introduction, the 2020 African Nations Championship almost did not take place because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which swept across the world, including Africa. And so the tournament was moved to 2021. As African nations converge in Cameroon, the CAF and the Cameroonian government have put in place safety measures. And one of these measures are COVID-19 testing centers to test people coming for the competition. Let's join Isaac Jenna Fochi as he tells us more about the security measures put in place against COVID-19.
With more than half of the matches counting for the 2020 African Nations Championship already played, it is already going down the annals of time that Cameroon is the country which effectively organized the first major football tournament in the continent during the coronavirus pandemic era. But what made the country stand out?
The success is phenomenal, and through these other nations can learn the example and be sure that if everything is put in place, a good preparation and good measures are taken, they can succeed in organizing a competition of this magnitude.
Several COVID-19 control units have been set up at all the stadiums, hosting matches as well as other strategic locations in the different cities. Here at the Yaoundé Omnisports Stadium, medical officers are busy taking samples and running tests for key stakeholders directly involved in the tournament. The epidemiologist speaks of special measures taken to secure participants.
Our team have been doing all their best and putting all efforts to make sure that we curb the disease and control the spread of the COVID virus during this competition. We do the testing of all the personnel working for the CHAN every 2 days before every match, starting from the volunteers to those picking the balls. And we also have part of our team testing the players also before the match to make sure that there is no infected person, and that while we are on the field of play, starting from the staff and the players, nobody is infected.
The COVID-19 Control Center has successfully kept teams and delegations safe by immediately withdrawing persons tested positive and keeping them on treatment protocol, which have so far been the key pillar of the country's 95% COVID-19 recovery rate. As far as the spectators are concerned, stands are readily available at various spots where they have been encouraged to visit and get tested.
For the big crowd, what is generally done is that since we here at our level, we test just the official in this stand, there are other big stands where we advise the masses and the populations to go and carry out their tests, especially those who are interested in coming to watch the match. And as I said earlier, in the field there are measures of distanciation, and we have put all the measures so that these barrier measures are fully respected.
The health workers say preemptive measures remain crucial if the pandemic must be kept under control. They recommend continuous social distancing both during and after the matches.
You must be wondering what I am holding. This is foolery. But this drink is produced or made from the roselle fruit. It is used to make beverages and can equally be used to make soups. Most school children love it. They love it cold and they love it icy. Brenda Kiven tells us that in the streets of Douala, you cannot walk 30 minutes without finding a spot to consume foolery. Let's go and find out.
It is also known as the hibiscus iced tea and is widely consumed during the dry season in Cameroon.
The foolery market is very active in the dry season because it is an energy drink that is natural.
Though this chilled drink originated from the northern regions, Manuela from the west says it can be produced by just anyone with interest in natural juices. She also explains how she prepares this cherished drink and its nutritive value.
It has many names and is made from some leaves that are very dry. Myself, I make the foolery with the pineapple skin. I steep them first in water, then I wash them. Then I put in a pot with the bark of pineapple. Once it boils to about 100 degrees, I remove and press to remove the juice from the pineapple skin. Then I sieve and then I add some aroma.
Dès qu'elle est bien tamisée, je prends maintenant de l'arôme. Moi, parfois, je mets de l'arôme ou la tisane.
Sometimes I put aroma and add sugar so that people can drink it, especially when it is cold.
Et aussi ma tisane. Puis maintenant, je mets un peu d'arôme. Après, je mets un peu de sucre. Et après, le foolery se boit quand il est frais, pas chaud. Quand il est chaud, là, c'est pas bon. Après, on congèle le foolery. Ça sort comme ceci. Après, c'est super.
The foolery, as it is called in Cameroon, bears different names as you move about the continent. The Nigerians say they know it very well as it reminds them of their childhood.
To be precisely Anambra State. We call it Zobo, but here they call it foolery.
Yeah. Bottled or in sachets, the beverage is quite cheap and often feels like the perfect response to the very hot and humid Douala. And
Spotlight has been brought to you by the AUB.
On the occasion of the African Nations Championship organized in Cameroon from January 16 to February 7, 2021, the African Union of Broadcasting, AUB, presents the Spotlight. The Spotlight, the very best of Channel 2020.
If you are in Cameroon and have never tasted foolery, you must be missing out on something really great. Seize this opportunity and have a taste of this great drink. It is best when the sun is scorchy, and it is best consumed when it is cold and it quenches thirst like nothing you can imagine. Thank you very much for watching this edition of the Spotlight. I hope you enjoyed it and you had a great time. Till next time, see you.